what does a high school diploma mean? I was thinking about this, and because you need it to get a job at McDonald's or to put boxes on the shelves at Amazon. And so I was thinking, okay, how do you get a high school diploma? And so I boiled it down. You get a high school diploma if you sit down for 12 years because you're told to. So if you can sit down because you're told to for 12 years, then you have met the requirements for food safety handling, serving people food, providing them with food, all the way up to selling them expensive electronics. And that's it. Or is it? Because, well, let me not get there yet. The requirements there on the GED doesn't say, or GED or diploma, doesn't say anything. It doesn't say, hey, this person we just passed because we wanted them out of school. And it doesn't say this person passed because, like, they got all A's and they were the best student in the class. And that's what happens at school. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter what you do, you get passed. If you sit there and don't do anything, 2 years, they pass you up a grade. And if you score all A's, they pass you up a grade. And pretty much they pass you up a grade within 1 year. But if you don't do anything at all, they pass you in 2 years. So all that's required is to sit there for 12 years and you get a diploma. And so that's the requirements to handle people's food and cook people's food for them. Among other things, service the water quality in the sewage systems. Drive trucks. I mean, I guess a trucker needs a CDL and stuff, but unless you're a good trucker, and just like the diploma, you don't really need it if you know what you're doing, do you? But that's all there is. And then I realized, you know what? That's incorrect because I could have got a diploma if I would have stayed around in school, and my teachers, if comments or remarks telling what happened in school were on that diploma, my teacher specifically stated 1 year. He doesn't do anything he's told. It wasn't those words. In fact, it was if you tell him not to do something, he's going to do it. So, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. He doesn't do anything and he's told. He does the opposite of what you're told. He does exactly what he's not supposed to do. And I would have if I would have just slept a couple more years, went to school and slept a couple more years, I would have got my diploma. But I just felt like sleeping all day was a waste of time. Um, I didn't like sleeping when I was a kid. I didn't realize like that when you sleep, like you're burning your life, and then you get to hurry up and get out of this world. Now that I'm older, I understand like if I can just sleep, like I get to die soon, so let's sleep as much as we can. But when I was younger, I was like, I didn't sleep, and I didn't like sleep, um, and then when I was like more middle aged, I like had things I enjoyed doing for a few years. I was finally allowed. I finally fought the world and society and the people in it enough to be able to do the one thing in the world I ever wanted to do, and it was kind of fun for a few years. Well, I had access to that one thing out of a million things I have to do to exist and fit in society and cater to everyone else. But diploma means absolutely nothing because it doesn't even mean you get your diploma simply from going to school and sitting down. Everyone gets a diploma. Everyone. They even have classes for like the special ed kids. I bet you they get their diplomas, but you don't have to be. I mean, some of those kids are smart. It seems. I mean, I didn't see much difference in them. I was right across the hall from their class one year, and my family worked with those people, and I never seen much difference in them than some other people. Um, so the requirements sounds like it is. You just simply have to sit when you're told for 12 years. But like I said, that's not the case because everyone passes, even if you don't listen to them, even if you don't sit down. Eventually, you get passed. And like I said, specifically, if I still had all my information, I know I read it like a few years back. Like the teacher, like spit saying, I read it, and I was like, hey, there's one person in the world kind of knew me. That's odd because they didn't try to do anything. They didn't advance me or teach me anything. They weren't quite smart enough to understand why I didn't pay attention to their nonsense and be able to put it together how I got all A's, and I didn't listen to them at all and didn't do anything they told me to. I mean, to me, that's kind of like a simple deduction, like what's happening. But they just wanted to be like, he does whatever he's told not to. So that's not even a requirement. The GED is simply to go to school for 8 hours a day for 12 years. That's all that means. So you can work with people's lives in your hand, and you have to. You have to do that. It means absolutely nothing. That's what it means. And I think it's funny. People are always like, well, you should get your GED if Amazon doesn't hire you. And I'm like, well, first of all, could you imagine a person who got all A's in school while they slept through it and awards from presidents when they slept through school? Could you imagine a person like that working at Amazon? What a waste of life that would be. That'd be like taking, you guys worship frauds like Einstein and stuff, and Carl Sagan with their fake space and all that crap. That would be like whichever other cult leaders you worship. And that'd be like, taking those people and saying, hey, it's time to go work at Amazon. And you'd be like, okay. And but I'm like offended by that because I shouldn't work for someone who's like extremely like 1,000% less intelligent than me. So if the people who run the place say I need a GED to put boxes on shelves, the people who run that place is you know what I'm saying? They bro, there's no point. I mean, they be telling me stuff like, you put the box on the shelf like that. You're not doing it right. You lift up the box. They be like, you lift up the box like this and put it on the shelf. You need GED. You're not smart like me. I swear to frick. That's what it's like. It's like talking to squirrels. Except for squirrels don't have this narcissist attitude problem that humans do. Where like they think because they were born that they're Einstein, and because they figured out 2 buttons on the TV remote, they're frickin' Carl Sagan now too. They're Einstein meets Carl Sagan. Einstein didn't know nothing about TV remote buttons. It wasn't even TV remotes back then. Smarter than Einstein. That's all it takes. Probably a lot of truth in that. Probably a lot of truth in that. Considering what all I talk about and who Einstein is. But that's what it is. It's nothing. GD is nothing. And people who think it means something, be careful, because you're going to be picking up the boxes incorrect, and you don't do it like that. You can bend over like that, you put it on the towel, just get the GED, you don't know what you're doing.